Welcome to HinduinfoPedia. Today we explore a question that strikes at the foundation of families, communities, and societies. What happens when we lose the very measure that tells us what is right and what is wrong? In traditional construction, there is a simple tool called the Plumb line, or Sahool. It is humble, but it never lies. It always hangs straight, guided only by gravity. A mason may trust his eyesight, but without the Sahool, even the most confident hands can build a crooked wall. Civilization is no different. When a society throws away its Sahool, its moral line, the structure slowly begins to lean, crack, and eventually collapse. We see this not just in theories, but in everyday lives. Many parents today struggle with a painful question: where did things go wrong? Stories of children growing intelligent yet disrespectful, confident yet unanchored, are becoming common. A mother disciplined gently, hoping kindness alone would guide her son. Years later, she faced the heartbreak of her own child raising his hand against her. Not because he was inherently cruel, but because boundaries were never taught when they were easiest to learn. This is the cost of growing up without a Sahool, a world where everything becomes my truth and your truth, but no shared truth remains. In Hindu thought, that Sahool is dharma, not religion, not ritual, but the timeless principle that stabilizes human conduct. Dharma is flexible enough to understand context, yet firm enough to anchor choices. It is not a rigid iron rod. It is a weighted line that stays true even when the world shakes around it. Different civilizations have approached morality in different ways. Some created strict commandments, some relied on fixed laws, and others emphasized withdrawal from worldly duties. Hindu civilization took a distinct path. Rather than imposing one rigid formula on all situations, it taught that right action depends on nature, duty, and circumstance. But truth, responsibility, and self-control remain non-negotiable. This framework shaped how children were raised for thousands of years. Our ancestors understood something that modern psychology is rediscovering. Reward without responsibility breeds entitlement, and punishment without affection breeds fear. The balance of love, discipline, and accountability is what molds character. Hence, older traditions used a structured system: praise for effort, correction for harmful behavior, explanation after discipline, and affection afterward. Not cruelty, not anger, but firm guidance rooted in care. This shaping of character was seen as the sacred duty of parents and teachers. Modern ideas, however, often swing to the opposite extreme. Some insist that children are already naturally perfect, needing no correction. Some place absolute emphasis on personal rights without personal duties. Others treat every difficult emotion as trauma to be avoided, rather than a challenge to be strengthened through. And some movements unintentionally weaken the role of parents, especially the structured role of fathers, who traditionally gave children the confidence to face the world's difficulties. When all these shifts combine, children grow up without inner anchors. They face life's storms unprepared, lacking resilience, unsure of boundaries, and unaware of consequences. But this decline is not inevitable. It can be reversed. To rebuild society, we must rehang the Sahool. We must restore dharma, not as blind tradition, but as a living principle shaping action, discipline, empathy, and truth. Each generation must be guided, not indulged, corrected, not abandoned, loved, not merely entertained. If we want upright adults, we must teach uprightness when they are still children. Thank you for watching. If this message resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe to HinduinfoPedia, and read more insightful content at HinduinfoPedia.